Hello everyone, and welcome. Today I want to talk about something I call godly magic. It's the power of divine miracles that we see throughout the Bible, especially in the lives of two prophets, Elijah and Elisha. These men, though human like us, were able to perform incredible acts through their deep connection to God. And today, I want to explore how their miracles, or godly magic, can teach us about our own connection to the divine. Let's start with Elijah. One of the most powerful moments in his life was when he stood on Mount Carmel, facing the prophets of Baal. Elijah called on God to send down fire from heaven, and God answered him. The fire consumed everything on the altar, proving to everyone that the power of God was real. You can find this story in 1 Kings chapter 18. This wasn't just a show of force, it was Elijah demonstrating godly magic, a miracle rooted in his connection to the divine. Elijah also created a drought for many years. Then, through prayer and ritual, brought the rains back. He didn't just manipulate nature, he was in tune with God's will. And we see another miracle when he raised the widow's son from the dead in 1 Kings chapter 17. These aren't just stories of miracles. They're examples of how someone can channel divine energy for good, what I call godly magic. Then there's Elisha, Elijah's successor, who performed even more miracles. One of the most famous is when he multiplied food to feed 100 men with just 20 loaves of bread. You can read about this in 2 Kings chapter 4. Another time, he healed Naaman, a commander of leprosy, again showing the power of divine healing. Elisha's miracles weren't just about grand displays, they were acts of compassion. He even made an iron axe head float in water, proving that with God, even the laws of physics can be overcome. In all these acts, Elisha shows us that godly magic is about connecting with divine power to bring about good in the world. Now, it's important to understand that what Elijah and Elisha did was not the same as the magic practiced by the pagan priests or magicians we read about in the Bible. Think about the magicians in Pharaoh's court who mimicked some of the miracles Moses performed. Their magic wasn't rooted in the divine. It was manipulative and superficial. Godly magic, on the other hand, is pure. It flows directly from a relationship with God, as we see in the way Elijah and Elisha performed their miracles. It wasn't about them, it was about God working through them. So, how does this apply to us today? Many of us engage in spiritual practices, prayer, intention, and even rituals. These are modern forms of connecting with the divine, much like what Elijah and Elisha did. The key is our intention. If we align ourselves with God's will, we are capable of channeling divine power in our own way. Today's spiritual practices, whether we call them rituals, prayer, or intention, are simply ways to tune in to that same divine energy. We might not call down fire from heaven, but we can still invite God's presence into our lives in powerful, transformative ways. In closing, Elijah and Elisha performed what I call godly magic, miracles that were expressions of divine power working through them. Their connection to God allowed them to do the impossible, and we can learn from their example by focusing our prayers, our rituals, and our intentions on aligning with the divine. we too can experience God's presence in miraculous ways. Thank you for listening, and may you always feel connected to that divine power working in your life. Amen.